All right, guys. Appreciate you guys let me shoot down here for a sec. Wanted to update you on a couple things. We did put Kirk Cousins on injured reserve, and he'll be, having his procedure later this week, and keep you guys updated there. We did acquire Josh Dobbs via trade from the Arizona Cardinals, in exchange for a 6th-round pick. We also picked up a 7th-round pick in the trade. Thought it was important in our process of evaluating our options at the position to make sure we solidified our quarterback room, along with Jaren Hall and hopefully Nick Mullins coming back off short-term IR at some point. Do not know that timeline as of right now, when that would happen. But Josh gives us an experienced player who's started some games, not only this year but last, and has played some good football against some of the best defenses in our league and found ways to move the ball. Brings a level of athleticism to go along with, great football intelligence, smart player. Have always loved his makeup and kind of what he's all about. And he's played in a variety of different offenses, and I know he's excited to get going here. So we'll get him out here and start the preparation of acclimating him and getting him ready to go, potentially on Sunday, in a supportive role of Jaren. We do plan to start Jaren Hall on Sunday, but as we work through the week, we'll keep you guys posted on that. Excited to see what Jaren can do. And then we also did trade Ezra Cleveland to the Jacksonville Jaguars in exchange for a 6th-round pick in 2024. Ezra's really one of the first players that I got to know very well. When I first came to Minnesota, he was in my office, it seemed like daily, and just building a relationship with him. So it is bittersweet, but I know it's a great situation Ezra's going to down in Jacksonville, his former position coach down there on a really good team, and Ezra will help out those guys tremendously. Really a scenario that came about via, our acquisition of Dalton Reisner and seeing Dalton perform these last 2 weeks out there with that group. And then knowing with the depth we do have with Blake Brendel, who I've been high on, as you guys know, all season long. He just really hasn't gotten an opportunity yet. Ed doing some good things at the right guard spot, and then knowing, the timeline possibly on Chris Reed's window being opened up to possibly return as well. He's been doing some really good things, preparing himself for when that happens. But anytime a player is in the last year of his contract and we can acquire a future resource, that we can use this year to help our team. It's tough decisions with the makeup and the group we have, and I'm incredibly aware of our team in the locker room. But I do think this is going to be a positive move for not only Ezra, but with the depth we do have, it gave us a chance to feel good about a move like this.
Just like 5 minutes of questions before coordinator start.
Kevin, what have the last 24 hours been like evaluating your options, and can you tell us now who blew up your cell phone?
I cannot. I can tell you that we've evaluated and looked at a lot of different things, and really with some hopeful kind of guidelines on what we want to do in the short term, giving our team the best possible chance to continue the success that we've been on. I think our team is still improving and solidifying the quarterback room and the depth there to give us, multiple guys that we feel like we can go out and win with was important, and we feel like Josh does that.
Do you anticipate Josh getting in the mix to be a starter once he's acclimated?
Yeah, I think, the way I really see it is hopefully Jaren goes out and plays great on Sunday, and there's a lot to build off of there. We're still going to prepare Josh Dobbs like he's not only one snap away, but just as we move forward, evaluate what gives us the best possible chance to win. And I think it's important that we're always evaluating, for Jaren in his development of where we think he may go in this league, what that looks like, in the current situation now that has obviously changed that immediate timeline for this week. But it's my responsibility to always be gauging what's best for him moving forward. And now that we have Josh and potentially Nick coming back as well, we feel comfortable with the depth in that room now, and we can continue to press onward.
You talked about yesterday the dual worlds and getting and the potential for someone that that could come in the long term. Was that ever a serious possibility over the past 24 hours that somebody who could conceivably be a longer term option, or maybe you see Josh in that regard?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just evaluating each possible situation as its own, and really looking at not only the short term, our ability to try to overcome what was a catastrophic loss, losing Kirk playing as well as anybody in this league, while also knowing that the future and the importance of that position for our organization moving forward. You have to evaluate a lot of those things on a short, in a really short amount of time. But we talked about different things and had some dialogue, great dialogue internally, and then just wanted to make sure that we gave ourselves the opportunity to really go a lot of directions with the position, including, like I've said many times, Kirk Cousins is going to be healthy again. I know he's going to be a free agent after this season, but Kirk knows how I feel about him, and that'll be something that will hopefully work itself out. But I think this immediate solution that we found provides us with a really quality player at a time when we were able to go out and get that player without potentially leaving the world of the future and the now. We kind of we're able to accomplish the goal of both, and I think help our football team.
So do you want Kirk to come back next year?
Yeah, Kevin, you guys know how I feel about Kirk. Kirk knows how I feel about Kirk. I think he was playing as well as anybody in the National Football League, and my biggest. One of the hardest parts about kind of coping with this, and we must do that, as we talked about yesterday. It seems like it was a lot longer ago than that, but we must do that. But coping with the fact that I believe he was experiencing his best season in the National Football League, and where we could have gone as a team. Hopefully, we're going to still get to that place. But I know without Kirk Cousins and that high-level quarterback play we were getting from him week in and week out, it's going to be a challenge. But like I said, one that we've got to accept and try to thrive.
Since you put Mullins on injured reserve, how did that change what Jaren was doing? I think you mentioned yesterday he was just still running the scout team, but as a second string guy, was he getting some first team reps at all? Did you step up your instruction with him or anything?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Absolutely, the scout team reps and the way we kind of handle that here, we try to make it as realistic as possible. When we can run variations of our plays that still simulate things for the defense, we're able to do that, and those count as real reps. And Flo and his guys love for the quarterback to compete and try to work through progressions and create off schedule, and a lot of things that when you're looking at it from a standpoint of development, really are a real positive for Jaren over these last few weeks. And then just all the extra work he's been doing with Grant and Chris, and you see him in the indoor at the end of the week going through the whole plan, because he has been really since Nick went down a snap away. So the preparation really has started long before this week on preparing him to play for us, and I think that this is where we'll see the benefit of that and the hard work that's been done that nobody's really seeing, and hopefully that'll give Jaren the confidence to attack this week the right way and go play well on Sunday.
It sounds like Nick's got a little while. I mean, it's not a 1 week deal.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate on that, because I think Nick is, he's as competitive as anybody I've ever been around, and wants to be out there for his team. But we have one more week by the letter of the law, rules-wise, before we can possibly bring him back. But we're going to want to do right by Nick as well, and make sure he's healthy and ready to go when he's able to come back and start practicing again full-time. So I think it's, you'd love to just say, hey, his windows can be open, let's go. But we have a little bit more of a responsibility to Nick and really all of our players than that. But we're going to hopefully have Nick back, and I can't tell you when that's going to be. But like I said, the depth of the quarterback room was most important throughout this time.
How mindful are you, just as a guy who's kind of spent as much time as you have in quarterback development, that just the way that you handle Jaren and his trajectory kind of from this point?
Yeah, I think it's important. I think, I can reference a lot of personal experiences, as a player, that 1,000 things I wish I would have done differently. But I think it's important for him to understand there's really no reason to have a 30,000-foot view of what does this mean, what does this mean for my long-term career, my development, all those things. This is about playing one snap at a time and doing your job and making sure that you effectively run our offense. And it's on us as coaches to put together a plan that gives him an opportunity to do that. And then, we'll have tremendous, if we go about things the right way, there'll be tremendous opportunity for growth on a play-to-play, drive-to-drive, and hopefully game-to-game basis that will allow us to watch Jaren grow before our very eyes. And I think he's physically capable. I think he's mentally capable. I think he's made up of the right stuff. I've loved the way he's attacked whatever role he's been in throughout the season. And like I said, this is the time when you do all those things that you do, when nobody's really counting on you or thinking that, you're potentially going to be on the field. All of those lonely hours, lonely moments where he's with the coaches grinding on some extra work here and there, this is where you see the benefit of that. And I'm excited to see the way Jaren goes about the week and performs on Sunday.